Protests continue at this hour after that not guilty verdict in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse. Groups in New York City hit the streets claiming Rittenhouse was acquitted because of the color of his skin. And tonight, Rittenhouse is celebrating the verdict. Reports say he is already planning a live interview with Tucker Carlson of Fox News coming up next week.
The 18-year-old burst into tears and then dropped to his chair immediately following today's verdict. Rittenhouse also hugging his attorney. And tonight we have live team coverage of this major verdict.
And we begin our live coverage with Fox 35's David Bowden. He has the trial's outcome. So, David, the jury deliberated for about 26 total hours.
26 total hours before coming up with that verdict, in a very dramatic scene in the courthouse, as you saw, and Kyle's family celebrating after the teenager first made national headlines. Now, from the air, you can see the perspective of the protesters, and while we've seen these protests in other cities, over in Kenosha, things seem to be relatively quiet. Now, Rittenhouse shot 3 men during police brutality protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin last August. 2 of the protesters died. Jurors ultimately ruling that Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. Now, we keep following the situation for you, and we'll bring you the latest updates live throughout this newscast. For now, we are live in Studio B. I'm David Bowden, Fox 35 News.
David, thank you. And this verdict is generating a lot of buzz all across Central Florida. We have had our fair share of controversial verdicts as well. Fox 35's Samantha Sosa spoke with attorney Mark O'Mara, who defended George Zimmerman. And Sam, people are still talking about that verdict more than 8 years later.
That's right, Luann. And, you know, O'Mara says that it's difficult to convict when the argument is self-defense. Community activists are saying that's not fair.
There's definitely a two-system justice system, one for those white privilege and one for those who are African American. No African American, no male, female could have ever gotten away with such a crime as this.
From the steps of the Kenosha County Courthouse to Orlando, people are frustrated. Luana Gelzer, a longtime community organizer, says she was not surprised at the verdict.
It's a tearful moment in America that a person can go across state lines with a gun that he does not possess or own and kill.
Kyle Rittenhouse argued he shot 3 people in self-defense during a protest against police brutality in Wisconsin last year.
I'm not surprised that it turned out this way.
Defense attorney Mark O'Mara has experience with self-defense cases. He famously represented George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin trial. He gave his perspective on the outcome.
I think it's very difficult for a state to convict somebody when the argument is self-defense because it is so personal. It is what that person saw or felt at the time they were reacting to it.
He is, however, surprised Rittenhouse was not convicted for lesser charges: possession of a weapon by a person under 18 and failure to comply with an emergency order.
The state did not disprove self-defense, and that's their burden. Should a 17-year-old have been out there with an AR-15? Absolutely not.
And loved ones of one of the men killed called this acquittal a failure of the system. I'm live in Orlando. Samantha Sosa, Fox 35 News.
Samantha, thank you. Our coverage of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial continues online. We have everything gathered for you, including the reading of the verdict and reaction. Just go to fox35orlando.com.